Now recording. I figured
You
I
sound
throw.
you sound just like him.
I figured I'd throw that in just for nostalgia reasons.
Hey everybody, welcome back. On this week's episode, Josh sees a dead body. We take a look at a new segment called "What's Up with the News" and dig deep into our movie of the week, Howl's Moving Castle. He's Jesse, I'm Josh, and this is Your Mother Ate My Dog, the podcast, starting now. Hey Jesse, how are you today?
I'm doing quite well, actually. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. I just like sometimes throwing things out there just to see how you react. It makes for better listening.
Yeah, well, yeah, you. That was definitely out of nowhere.
So you're probably wondering, Josh sees a dead body? That's a weird thing to put in um, the
An intro.
podcast.
Yeah,
Is it like clickbait? Are you just saying that so that people would listen to the podcast?
that's my
No,
internal. Oh, okay, it's real.
no. I saw a dead body yesterday.
Where was this?
Well, I don't want to get into it too much.
Oh,
Um, but yeah, so
that's not ideal.
no. But do you know what is ideal?
What's that?
Our new segment called What's Up with the News. You're probably interested in that, aren't you?
My heart is going a pitter patter. I am so excited.
So for this segment, I found a few different crazy headlines from all around the world.
Okay,
Just want to read them to you, and we can discuss how
let's do that.
crazy these headlines are. The first one comes from June 21st, 2022, yesterday or a few days ago, depending. Disney workers trade costumes for yoga pants on Yoga Day. June 21st, I guess, International Yoga Day. Walt Disney World in Florida, Disney workers traded their character costumes for yoga pants
Hmm.
early Tuesday and planked, did the downward dog, and folded into lotus poses, all yoga terms.
Oh, that's what those are. Okay.
Must have been pretty scary for the children who
Frightening.
came to Disney World, hoping to see Mickey Mouse and their favorite princess, but just a regular person in yoga pants.
Doing downward dog in their face.
Yeah, and also planking, also a yoga
Hmm.
thing.
Yeah. Equally as
Pretty,
frightening.
pretty nuts. 6,000 bees removed from inside wall of Omaha couple's home.
Hmm.
Omaha, a state in the United States. About 6,000 bees were recently removed from inside the walls of an Omaha couple's 100-year home. Thomas and Mary Lou told the Omaha World Herald newspaper they have been planting bee-friendly flowers outside their midtown home, but never expected the bees to move in.
Hmm.
Insane.
Can I ask you a quick question about that last headline?
Yep.
You said Omaha was a city, or you said it was a state?
Oh, I think I said it was a state.
That's
Omaha, definitely a city.
yes.
Thank you for catching that.
You're welcome. I wouldn't want to confuse the listeners.
Omaha, Nebraska.
That's the one.
Nebraska is the state. And then the third and final headline: bus driver says he didn't know his gummy snacks included THC. This one comes from Bridgeport, Connecticut. Those Americans, this is all American based news, I guess.
Yeah.
A commercial bus driver has been charged with 38 counts of reckless endangerment after blacking out behind the steering wheel while snacking on gummies he says he didn't know were infused with THC.
Wow. Okay. Well.
Nobody died.
Oh, that's
He
good.
was um, he was held in lieu of a $25,000 bond when set his next court date for August 25th.
Boy, this segment sure is out of left field.
Yeah, and that's been what's up with the news with Josh and Jesse.
Yeah, I was there. There's no doubt about that.
Do you have any news? Any fun news? Well, how was your Father's Day?
Uh, pretty good. Father's Day this year landed on the same day as my birthday. So just had a nice little shindig with the parentals. It was quite fun.
So, a question for you:
Okay.
when Father's Day lands on your birthday, who is the most important person in the room?
I'd say it's about a 50-50. No one, I don't feel all more important than my father on that day. I think it's just completely even. What about you when your birthday falls on Father's Day?
It hasn't happened,
Mm-hmm.
but if it does, I'll let you know.
Okay. They might change Father's Day to January. Could
Yeah, they
happen.
might. They're
Mm-hmm.
thinking they're thinking about it. This week we watched a movie that we wanted to watch. Well, that was an option to watch quite a few weeks ago
Yes.
uh, with the infamous Instagram poll.
The one and only.
What I can't actually remember what movie won that poll.
The one we watched.
Butterfly Effect,
Yeah, it's the one.
right?
Yep.
Okay. So, Howl's Moving Castle,
Mm-hmm.
episode 21 of the podcast. The first anime,
Mm-hmm.
the first non-live action movie we've chosen to watch.
Mm-hmm.
Did it, or was it everything that you wanted it to be when you chose this movie again?
Again. Well, it was a lot of fun, don't you think?
Yeah, did you watch it with subtitles or did you watch it English dubbed?
Well, I personally am not a fan of committing crimes, and so I watched the subtitle version and not the dub version because I'm not just a terrible human being. How did you view this?
Um, okay, well, when you put it that way, I knew going into this movie that the English voice cast was they had some heavy hitters. Okay, we have the Christian Bale playing Howl. We have Billy Crystal playing the fire. What's his name? Calcifer.
Mm-hmm.
We have a few other people mixed in that are famous, probably. So I went from the first 2 minutes was the subtitle version,
Mm-hmm.
the Japanese voice cast,
Yes.
subtitles. The rest of the movie, I went English dubbed. And you know what? I don't regret it.
Okay. Well, I mean, sometimes if you want to be on your phone, say while you're watching a film, it's good that you can hear what people are saying and not have to read what they're saying. So if you tell me that that's what you're doing, I will be a little more forgiving.
I watched this movie after a long day of work.
Mm-hmm.
I don't regret. I thought the okay.
Okay.
I thought the English voice cast was excellent.
Okay. I wouldn't know. I didn't hear them.
You wouldn't know.
Mm-mm.
Um, so I, I accept my decision.
Okay. Well, that's all that I could ask for.
Do you think that I watched a different movie than you?
I don't think so. I mean, I can't. It couldn't have made that much of a difference.
Then what's the problem?
Okay. Yeah. No. Fair enough. Fair enough. We'll let the. Maybe we'll make that an Instagram poll. Like when you're watching anime, do you watch it with subtitles or with English dub? And we'll see
I, I
what people
think
say.
I think subtitles are normally the way to go. I know you haven't seen it, but when Squid Game came out, most people watched it with subtitles. I didn't. I watched it dubbed, and I regret it because apparently it did make a big difference
Hmm. With
in viewing. But for this one, Christian Bale, um, Emily Mortimer as young Sophie, Billy Crystal as Fire. They're
hmm
great. Great.
Okay. Well, did you
So
have all sorts of fun? It's just like I did watching this movie.
it was definitely different.
Hmm.
Um, transported me back to my youth, maybe a little bit.
Okay.
I have seen zero of these Studio Ghibli movies, so I didn't really know what to expect.
Hmm. Okay.
I haven't even seen Spirited Away.
Right.
Do you know who did see Spirited Away, though?
Uh, your girlfriend?
Christian Bale,
Oh.
who, after seeing it, immediately agreed to play any role in this film.
Okay.
even a small part, but they gave him, the title role.
Right. I mean, he's a pretty big name, so that makes sense.
All right, what did you like about it?
Well, it just felt very. What was it about it? It had a quality. Well, first, maybe I'll delve a little into the animation, which definitely was a factor into my enjoyment of this film. It's quite a unique blend, I would say. Like, it wasn't just one art style, like the style that I'm used to with Miyazaki films, but it had like an interesting animation done to the moving castle itself. Did you notice that sort of difference in animation style?
It seemed like a very active animation
Mm-hmm.
versus with the people,
Right.
like when they were interacting. So yeah, I noticed that a little bit.
Yeah, I thought that was kind of well done. It like drew more attention to the castle, which itself was quite interesting. So I liked that part a lot. There was a lot of really likable characters who sort of went, who had like a diverse range of, I guess, goodness, you could say. Like the Witch of the Waste, I guess, could be an example. Starting off pretty evil and then going into a much nicer spirited character. It was fun seeing that character just on both sides of that coin, I guess. And same thing like with Calcifer. Like at first, I thought maybe he was going to be bad, but he was good. But it was like interesting seeing the two sides as well. But there was just like overall, not just the characters with range, I guess you could say, but just a lot of characters to like. I loved the Scarecrow a lot. I guess it's just Turnip is his name, or
Turnip head, I believe.
Turnip Head. Um, the dog. I liked the dog. I liked Markle. I liked pretty much every character in this. So I don't know. That was just kind of like a feel good movie, but with some curveballs in there and a lot of interesting weirdness as well.
Yeah, like it it seemed like kind of a children's movie at the beginning,
Mm-hmm.
but really like the themes and what they were trying to get out of this was not a children's movie at all.
Right.
2004, written and directed by Hayao Miz. How do you say it?
I've never
Miz.
actually said his first name. I just know his last name is Miyazaki.
Yeah, Miyazaki. That's what I said. It's
Yep.
loosely based on the 1986 novel of the same name
Mm-hmm.
by English author Diana Wynne Jones. Loosely based. They get away from some things apparently. I haven't read it. I don't know. Have you seen The Hunger Games?
Nope.
Markle, played by Josh Hutcherson from The Hunger Games.
Okay. I believe you.
Um, did you notice Christian Bale's distinct growl in the movie?
No, mostly because I didn't hear the version with Christian
Oh
Bale.
yeah. Okay, well, the film features a moment with Christian Bale's distinct growl,
Hmm.
which if you would have heard it, you'd be like, "Oh, is this Batman?" He was preparing for the Batman role at the same time he was
Oh,
I'm doing this because it was a 2004 movie, which came out in North America a little bit later. Nominated for Best Animated Feature at the 2006 Academy Awards,
oh yeah.
but lost.
To who, do you know?
I do know. Do you have any guesses?
2006.
It's a movie that you would not expect.
Uh,
Are you a
Shrek.
fan of claymation?
I guess.
That's your hint.
Uh, Chicken Run. Wallace and Gromit.
Wallace and Gromit: Curse of the Were Rabbit. Yep, that movie
Hmm.
won an Oscar. Beat
Okay.
out this one.
Interesting.
Yeah, good movie. Good, both maybe. Wallace and Gromit I've never seen.
Mm-hmm.
But like I was saying, children's movie, but not a children's movie. A lot of symbols, metaphors, such as the castle, apparently representative of Howl himself, a highly powerful yet disorganized mess
Mm-hmm.
with a lot of baggage.
That
The
makes sense.
black gateway on the portal slash dial is the way to Hal's psyche and here we go again. Unconscious
Mm-hmm.
which he keeps himself immersed in. Calcifer, the fire, played by Billy Crystal, you didn't hear that,
Nope.
is of course the heart, quite literally, of the movie, of the castle. Markle could be understood as the innocent, childlike part of Howl.
Mm-hmm.
Sophie starts by organizing things in the castle, wins over Markle as well as Calcifer. At the end, she's able to help Howl finally, this is in good English, finally, when the ring Howl gave her leads to his innermost self, the Black Gateway on the dial. She visits his past and is finally able to help him reconcile his feelings to his present state.
That
Howl's Moving Castle.
that is an amazing piece that you wrote. I take it you wrote that.
In the novel, Sophie actually learns she has magical powers, and she's the one that defeats the Witch of the Waste,
Hmm.
along with her own fire demon, different from the movie.
You know, I had heard that the book was like darker than the film. I don't know if that's
I
something
believe
you heard
you.
as well. Yeah, that's what I heard. Now, did you have any favorite characters? You know, I think my favorite was Calcifer myself. He was very funny. Like he would, at least in the version I saw anyway. I don't know. Like I can't imagine the versions are all that different. But I just like how he's so. What's the word I'm looking for? He's like cheerful, but also he's like maybe bashful and
A little sarcastic, maybe.
a little sarcastic. Yeah, and
He was
a
played by
little,
Billy Crystal. So, what do you think?
and like maybe a little unsure of himself too. I don't know. It was a really well written character, in my opinion.
Yep, he was great. Um, I liked Howl.
Yep.
He was a bit strange.
Yep. There's a lot of strangeness going on in this film, but most of it I really enjoyed. There was like this when I watch a film and I'm getting into it and I'm finding a lot of the plot that like okay, there's things going on in the plot and I'm not fully understanding what's going on. And my brain's like, okay, you need to explain this to me or I'm gonna like be annoyed. And it was doing that a little bit. You know, with Sophie, you know, how when she turned old, then she kept like becoming younger and then older again. I didn't really understand that.
Yeah.
Um, and a couple other things. But at some point, like I was very successful at just turning that part of my brain off and not worrying about understanding why that's happening and just kind of enjoying the film. So I don't know if that was an attribute of the film itself, like that allowed me to do that, or I just kind of decided that myself. I don't know. Did you find yourself like a little confused at points?
Yeah, there were some points
Mm-hmm.
where I found confusion for sure. Mainly to do with the Witch of the Waste.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, a young and old. And like the war as well.
Yeah.
This movie contains strong anti-war themes.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Mainly because of the 2003 Iraq War, apparently.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
Based on the Iraq War, this movie was.
That makes sense in a way. Yeah.
I mean, yeah, it. I mean, the movie. Okay, so the movie's based on a book,
Yeah.
1986. So I guess the director kind of did his own thing there,
Right.
which is fine.
Yep.
The film points out limits of masculinity as well, which is interesting
Like, when did you
because
see that?
birds are feminine.
Hmm. I guess I can kind of see that.
This is another one of those movies where like there are themes that I only see when I read about them.
That's fair. I kind of like knew because I have seen other Miyazaki films before that there was it wasn't just going to be an animated like family movie. That there was going to be themes, and pretty immediately I saw things. I saw obviously the war was a big one going on, but also I thought maybe there was something to do with like age, like I don't know, like just accepting age for what it is. I don't know if that makes sense, but like because what I noticed like pretty drastically, I guess when Sophie became old from that spell, she wasn't that distraught. She was a little, but then she just kind of like got pretty used to it, and she was like, I think one of the lines she says is like, when you're old, things are just kind of more easygoing. And so maybe that was a comment on maybe people's fears of aging or something like that. So I was paying attention a little to deeper themes than just a children's movie, I suppose.
You're so smart.
I know, right?
When you chose this movie, I wasn't expecting a children's movie. It's like I wasn't coming in thinking that that's what this is going to be, just because it was, anime, or not a cartoon, but like not a live action movie. So I wasn't thinking that the whole time.
Fair enough. Yeah, it helped. Like, not. I mean, I'll be the first to admit, a lot of times, when I have gone into a movie, I've totally missed things and just don't pick up on them, or I get super confused with the plot, and even if the plot may be not that all that confusing. But this time, I just went into it thinking, there's probably going to be some bigger themes there, and that's why I was able to find them, I guess.
So you're happy with your movie choice?
I would say so. It was a lot of fun.
I was hoping for Orange County myself.
Well, you never know. We still got time. We're still alive.
Okay, well, do you want to get into scores, or do you have anything pressing you want to talk about? I mean, we're already pretty deep into this podcast.
We are. We've already talked about the news. I mean, there's...
Yeah, a new segment called... A new segment, or a news segment called What's Up with the News. Josh sees a dead body. I probably shouldn't have included that, but I thought that was interesting.
Why not? It'll make the cut.
I know nothing. Nobody knows anything, so...
I have a question for you, because it's on my mind, and I am really hopeful that something is going to happen later on in the podcast.
Okay.
Is there going to be a follower of the week this week?
Yeah. Well, I have nothing prepared, but we'll get a follower of the week.
Okay.
Unless like you wanna... Do you have somebody in mind to do it?
I don't have someone in mind. I really liked when you picked someone, and then we would just talk about them.
Joel, do you want to do that right now, since you just like...
Let's do that before our score.
All right. So, follower of the week. It's been a little, dead on our social media channels recently, because it's been 9 days since we've had a podcast, so there hasn't really been much. So I'm just gonna randomly... Well, not randomly. That's not what I meant to say. I'm gonna find a follower of the week here.
Okay. This is my favorite segment. I get so excited about this, and I'm not really sure why.
I just have to remember how to get to the followers.
It's pretty simple.
All right. Are you ready?
I am.
All right. So it's a guy by the name of Brian Hammer.
Brian Hammer.
Bryan.
Okay.
Space Hammar.
Okay.
Him. His handle on Instagram is rev._hammer. That's rev._hammer.
I do like that you spell everything. That's good.
36 posts. This is one where perhaps you found a VHS picture of his, liked it, and that's how he found us. One of the pictures that you liked, it's just a stack of VHSs. We have a VHS of the movie Brain Damage.
Oh, yes.
Movie Street Trash. George A. Romero's Day of the Dead.
Oh.
Then we have Mystery Science Theater 3000, the movie.
Yep.
And Nightmare on Elm Street. But the one below that maybe gets more attention is his maybe autographed copy of that Clive Barker movie with Pinhead. What's it called?
Hellraiser.
His autographed copy of Hellraiser.
That's
I've
exciting.
seen the future of horror, and his name is Clive Barker.
Yes.
Sorry, the picture is cut off, but I know it's Pinhead. So, Brian, you're our follower of the week.
thank you, Brian, for following and for listening. I'm sure you're listening
His
right now.
his last post was June 7th of a cat.
Oh well, that's just a no-brainer. We love cats around here.
Congratulations, Brian. Your package is in the mail.
It's on its way.
All right, Howl's Moving Castle. Let's get to the scores.
Happily, I'm so
Ex-
excited.
Expectation. Did it meet your expectations, exceed, or not any of those things?
I would say it exceeded my expectations. Even though I knew it was a Miyazaki film and I knew that it was pretty highly regarded, I still was pretty blown away by the interesting animation. The characters were very good. There was a lot of great things going on, like with color in this movie, especially like in Howl's room, like with all the crazy things he has in his room. I thought that was very interesting. And yeah, I mean, some of the other films I've seen of his, I'm thinking like My Neighbor Totoro. While it is a very good movie, I love that movie. I guess it's a little, I wouldn't say dull, but it's not nearly as exciting. But this movie was exciting. I think I was just in the right mood for that. I mean, you can be in the right mood to watch Totoro, obviously. But yeah, I was in the right mood for this type of movie, and it really delivered. So I guess I think since it overcame such a high barrier, like I knew that it was so highly regarded that my score for expectation is going to be just really high. So maybe I'll just go right for a 10.
Okay, it met my expectations. Acting. I gave acting a 7. 7 out of 10.
Yeah.
Hard to determine considering this is an anime and not live action. So
Hmm.
like we have nothing to kind of compare it to. This is movie 21, episode 21. So the 20 movies so far have been live action. So
Hmm.
like how do we like if like do we figure out like who's animating these people and like determine the animation of the acting? Um I went with voice acting,
Yep.
7 out of 10. English dubbed. I'm
Hmm.
sorry if that offends people. Christian Bale, Batman. But I thought it was pretty good considering. 7 out of 10.
Yes, we'd like to extend an apology to Christian Bale and Batman as well. Yeah, I went with voice acting as well. From the version that I listened to, I enjoyed the voice acting quite a lot. I mean, granted, I didn't understand what they were saying, but that's not the only aspect of voice acting. There's like, you know, expressions, like, vocal expressions to what's going on. And I don't know. It was very well done, especially Calcifer. Like the sounds he was making, like, I don't know what it was about it, but I just liked it so much. So I guess I'll be at a 9. I don't know. I don't really want to give it a number. It was good. I wanted
You
to
don't
make
want to
this.
give it a number.
No.
You want to rebel against the numbering system.
Well, let me say this: that when we talking about expectations, you didn't give it a number either. I was going to
Well,
make the
no, we
same.
don't.
Mhm.
We don't do that anymore.
Right.
But you gave it a 10 out of 10 for some reason.
I did. Well, you said what
That's
you.
fine.
I just got it in the heat of the moment, and I gave it a score.
There are no rules. Do whatever you want.
Okay, I did just then.
Ending, I'm going to give it a B minus. B minus for ending. It all comes together so nicely.
Hmm.
Such a good structured movie. From a screenwriting perspective, I thought it was excellent. Ups and downs.
Yep.
Towards the end, everything seems so bad. Howl's down in the dumps.
Yep.
Castle's on its last legs. Literally speaking. Calcifer's gone. Where's Calcifer? So it's up to Sophie to save the day, and she does just that, saving her new family and helping end the war by kissing Turnip Head, and everybody
Yes.
lives happily ever after. So a B minus for ending.
Okay. I thought your score doesn't match your words. It's like, oh, this great ending. ups and downs, and you never saw it coming. War is over. B minus.
Well, I gave ending a 7 out of 10, so I figured 7 was like a B minus. Well, a B plus.
Maybe just a B.
Well, like, don't tell me
Maybe
how
I
to
will.
number stuff.
Maybe I
B
will.
minus for ending. It could have been better. There could have been robots or whatever.
Yep, true. I am my grading scale for this category is based on the alphabet from A to Z. A being the worst, Z being the best.
Okay.
So I really liked the ending. I liked that Turnip Head turned into a dude. I did somewhat see that coming, but anyway, I still like that. And I don't know, yeah, it just kind of all came together at the end in a satisfying way. So for ending, I am giving it a Y and a half.
Okay. I'll let you do score to 10 for, well, I guess not score to 10, but your final score for the movie,
Okay.
however you want.
Okay, so my score for this movie is going to be based on the Lord of the Rings and Hobbit movies. Okay? Now, the Hobbit movies are bad, as you know. And Lord of the Rings movies are good, as you know, because as we know, you've seen those movies. So if we're just going to say that Return of the King is the best. So if I were to give this a Return out of the King out of Return of the King, that would be good. But if I were to give this, say, The Hobbit Battle of the Five Armies out of Return of the King, that would be bad. Are you following me?
Yeah, I understand.
Okay. I won't give you each individual score for all of those films, but the top three are Lord of the Rings movies. So if I give it a Lord of the Rings movie out of Return of the King, you know it's going to be good. You still with me?
Yes.
Okay. So my final score for this film is a Return of the King out of Return of the King. Now, you know that how Return of the King, the extended edition, is probably about 4 hours long. Or if you didn't know that, you know that now. I would give this a 3 hour and 15-minute running time out of 4 in Return of the King. And if you would like me to make that a score out of 10, I can do that. Shall I do that for you?
Whatever you want. At this point, I think we all understand.
You understand what I'm doing here?
You like the movie.
Yes, I do. But it's not a 10. It is pretty dang close, though. If there was a little better, if I was just a little less confused about what was going on, it would have been, it could have had potential. But, for now, on a first viewing, or maybe if I listened to it with the English dub, who knows? Maybe that would have changed my mind, although I doubt it. I'm giving this movie a 9 out of 10.
Is that the highest score you've ever given for a movie, you think?
It's tied with Old Boy.
Oh, crazy. Okay, so Lord of the Rings, obviously a movie I've never seen. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yep.
Another movie, popular movie I've never seen is Mean Girls. So I'm gonna go with the Mean Girls scale.
Okay,
I'm
sure.
gonna give this movie 3 Mean Girls out of 4.
Okay.
3 Mean Girls out of 4. You may think that that's 7.5 out of 10. Then that's 7.5 out of 10. We have a Jesse likes the movie better than Josh episode, and that's always exciting.
Well, I like knowing, first I like knowing what your score was. Because that, it's nice knowing that my score is higher than yours for like the third time ever. But in real life, if someone says, you know what, I like this thing, Return of the King, 3 hours and 15 minutes out of 4 hours running time, I know that that is more than liking something 3 Mean Girls out of 4. So that is something I can use in my real life now.
For sure. This movie, it does make me want to watch more, I suppose.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Of the studio. Is it Ghibli
It's
or
Ghibli.
Ghibli?
Ghibli. It's not like
Studio,
giblets.
Studio Ghibli movies.
Yes,
Got to
well, you
start
should.
with Spirited Away if
Hey,
I get some time.
hey, I got a question.
Yeah.
Did you watch this film with your girlfriend?
I did not. The plan was to do that, but I just didn't have any time for
Hmm.
that to happen. So I watched it 2 days ago
Oh,
after work.
okay.
Yeah, I just didn't have time really yesterday or today to do so when she was available. So
No, fair
alone.
enough. Fair enough. It was a film it was good viewing with somebody else. There was a lot of like in, enjoying the film like together, like when something happens, you just turn each other like, and it's like you both enjoy it. I don't know if that makes sense, but that
I
movie
think
did.
we probably would have watched it English dubbed if she was there. So
Mm,
wouldn't have changed anything for me.
right. Well,
All right, Hal's Moving Castle.
it's a film.
Good choice.
Thank you.
Good
Glad you liked it. I thought
choice.
it was something different.
Well, you want something different? I'll give
Oh,
you something
oh,
different
oh,
for
baby.
episode 22.
Okay.
What is the exact opposite of Christian Bale?
The exact opposite of Christian Bale.
Ryan Gosling. We're watching a Ryan Gosling movie next.
Okay.
It's one that you may never have even heard of.
It's
It's not one of the popular ones. It's one that I've only just recently knew existed and am excited to see what's going on.
I think I've seen maybe 3 or 4 Ryan Gosling films, and I feel like I've seen one of them that maybe not many people have seen.
And what movie is that?
I don't remember what it's called,
What
but
happened in it?
okay, I can tell you that there's a tree in the title.
Oh, Place Beyond the Pines?
Yeah, I'm assuming that's not the
Yeah,
film you chose.
that's not the film, but that is a favorite film of mine.
Okay.
I really enjoyed that. Bradley Cooper in that movie as well. I liked how they split. They kind of did that movie, spoilers ahead, in two different parts. I thought it was excellent. Another movie, Ryan Gosling makes a lot of good movies. Well, at least he had a time where he made good movies. Drive, another good movie of his.
Hmm.
Recommend that one. But this one, not that one.
Does it have as maybe his co-star a very well-regarded actor?
I'm gonna say that his co-star in this movie
Hmm.
is not a living person.
Okay, so it's not the movie I was thinking of then.
Don't know much about it besides, I don't know who's in it besides Ryan Gosling and his co-star that's not a
Is it
human being.
not a human being, but perhaps a well-known entity?
I mean, I'm sure you've heard of what it is. Sure.
Okay, I think I know. I think I know the film. All right. Well, that's exciting.
Yeah, very exciting. Unfortunately, we've done all of our good stuff at the beginning of the episode. We don't have any good stuff at the end of the episode.
Why haven't you
Did
seen the Lord of the Rings movies?
Well, we went over this. Actually, I don't know if we did because who knows what was in the last episode and what got cut
Exactly.
out.
Exactly. And also, I don't remember what you said.
We're just past that point now. It's more of a novelty.
I see. Okay, you did. We did have this conversation. I do remember that now. It's like I've gotten this far. I'm not going to do it now.
Yeah, like it'll be like a big deal to
Right.
do it, like for charity or something. Did you get any cool presents for your birthday?
I got 4 gifts for my birthday. One was a Polaroid camera from my girlfriend, which was a very nice gift because I had mentioned I wanted to get one of those, and then I was always like, well, it's like just a little too much money, so I didn't get it. So I got
Your
that.
girlfriend is a good listener.
Yes, she pays attention. From my parents, I got 3 things. Well, no, 2 things from my parents and 1 thing from my brother. My brother gave me a basketball because I wanted a basketball.
Wow.
Yeah, that's pretty exciting. He was going to get me a Pokemon card, but Apparently that didn't work out, but that's okay. I wanted a basketball, so that worked out well. My parents got me 2 gift cards, one to Mech, which is like an outdoor store in the city that we live in.
Mountain Equipment Co-op. Is it only in Victoria? In Vancouver, like BC based?
I think so. I couldn't say for sure. Sounds right though. And then the other thing was a gift card to a candy store, the one in Mayfair Mall.
Oh, interesting. They have
Yeah,
gift cards?
they do. I love that candy store. They got all the good stuff. Yep.
Okay. This segment is called Let's Google That.
Okay.
Mountain Equipment Co-op.
I think they're called Mountain Equipment Collective now or something because they're not a co-op anymore because they were bought out by a U.S. company.
According to Wikipedia, Mountain Equipment Co-op, now called 1077 Holdings Cooperative.
Mm-hmm.
It's owned by Americans.
Yes.
I don't know. Let's see where. Apparently, the pandemic not good for them. But they do have, and it's Canadian based, but they have stores all across Canada.
Mm.
Halifax, Winnipeg, Montreal, Quebec City,
Okay.
Toronto, Edmonton.
Can you hear my cat in the background?
Yeah, I can definitely hear your cat in the background.
My cat Moose has like this weird obsessive thing in the kitty litter where he'll smack the side of the kitty litter for like 5 minutes, which he's doing right now. He's just
I think that's fairly normal.
no. He keeps going and going, and he just has a dead look in his eyes, like he just doesn't even know what he's doing. He just does it. So that's what we're hearing right now. Oh, I think maybe he's finished. Yes, he is finished. Sometimes
Okay.
he'll finish and then he'll go to a different kitty litter because we have more than one, and he'll just start smacking that one around.
Okay. Well, interesting. Any other topics you want to discuss while we're here? Any segments you want to introduce? I put you on the spot there a little bit, but
You sure did. Do you have a favorite Pokemon?
if I did, it would definitely be in the first 151.
Mm-hmm. Just like me.
Let me just get a list up.
Is it your favorite if you have to look up a list?
Well, it'll be a good reminder.
So-
The first one that came to mind when you said it was Charizard,
Okay.
but I don't know if that's necessarily true
Okay.
because your Charizard was always the one so I would choose Charmander every time to get to Charizard
Yep.
and just destroy with Charizard. So that is kind of where my head is at, but I think the real answer is Gengar. Gengar's my favorite.
That's a good choice. If I were to pick 3, it would be Psyduck, Snorlax, and Scyther.
Okay.
Okay.
They call Missigno a one of the
That's not
first generation Pokemon. Okay. Well, we're doing a top 3. Then
not necessarily. I just had to pick 3 because I don't really have a favorite. If I were forced to pick one, it would be Snorlax.
okay. Well, if I had to choose a third one, because I had 2 to begin with, I would choose Dragonite.
That's a good one too. I like your choices.
But that's just from the 151. I don't know. The second and third, I just don't have the same kind of
Knowledge.
not even the knowledge, but like the nostalgia for it.
Yeah, I never got into the other generations. I still follow there's this guy who streams on YouTube, and he just opens Pokemon packs, and I just watch it. It's very interesting, but I never and you can pay money to buy a pack and then have him open it for you and then send it to you. But I never do. I just kind of watch.
Well, are you gonna shout out this person? Maybe they're a listener.
I really doubt it, but their YouTube is Royalty Gaming Pokemon. His name is Sagar, and I don't know what it is about him, but he's fun to watch.
That sounds like a Pokemon name.
It does a little. It does.
That's fun. Maybe going forward we can do our favorite things of other things.
Yeah, there's an idea.
Top 3 favorite Lord of the Rings movies.
See, now you're not going to be able to watch the new. There's like a Lord of the Rings show coming out. You're
Yeah,
gonna,
it does not interest me at all.
yes, I will clearly. With those Lord of the Rings movies, at the end of Return of the King. Well, there's two parts in Return of the King. One part, I legitimately cry at that part every time I watch it, and then there's one part that I do sometimes. But it's just such an epic, long journey, and they get to this one part, and it's just like, it's I don't know what it is. It's emotional.
The saddest thing I've ever heard.
Yeah, I've seen those movies probably like 20 times, maybe. I watch them maybe twice annually, I would say.
That's
trilogy.
The saddest thing I've ever heard.
Well, we're an emotional bunch here, so that makes sense.
Okay, well,
Okay.
On that note,
Mm-hmm.
What a fun episode of the podcast. What a fun movie of
Totally.
the podcast. Looking forward to switching gears and going into another movie completely blind. Will it be good? Will it not be good? No idea. This movie, good. This episode, good. Let's hope everything works.
Yeah.
And I think this new way of recording, a little behind the scenes, will make it much easier to edit so we can kind of fire it out faster, make more episodes. Maybe we do once a day instead of once a week. Get 7 episodes out a week. Then eventually we move on to putting them on YouTube. Eventually we move on to kind of a gaming stream where we go on Twitch, we podcast, we play games, we have fun, do that 7 days a week, quit our jobs, make a lot of money, buy a mansion, buy a bunch of cats so that they can play in the litter box whenever they want.
Yeah, and inhabit said mansion. That makes sense. That sounds like a great thing you've got planned there. Maybe it'll come to fruition. You know what's a good idea for a podcast? Is you watch a film. Maybe it's not that great of an idea. You do what we're doing now. We watch a film and talk about it on a podcast. But at the same time, we like play a video game at like a high level. And we try to explain how we feel about a film while also engaging in said video game. It might not work though. We might not be any good at it. You'd have to be fairly good at it for it to be entertaining.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm good at multitasking like that.
Yeah, it was a bad idea. Well, we appreciate you all listening. It's been a fun day.
Yeah, shout out to Brian, our follower of the week. We'll keep the follower of the week going. We're almost at 600 followers, so we can do this for 600 weeks. At least there's a new David Cronenberg movie out called Crimes of the Future.
Yes, I saw that.
Probably the best movie ever. I don't know. Maybe we'll do that movie. But that's just a shout out to the last David Cronenberg movie we did, which is called what did we do?
Videodrome.
Videodrome. Yeah, that's a forgettable movie already.
Yep.
Well, thank you, Jesse, for showing up.
You're welcome.
And saying things. Hope we do this again sometime soon.
Okay. Well, goodbye, Greg.
Goodbye.
Your Mother Ate My Dog, the podcast. He's Josh, he's Jesse. Thank you so much for tuning in today.